Easter Reflections. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Now, what does Easter have anything to do with business? We talk a lot about business concepts here, perspectives of being a business owner, of being a person who's in charge of some type of business here or there. So what's Easter have to do with any of these things? I'll tell you what it has to do with. Because when you're out there talking, if you're putting out any form of content marketing and you're doing it yourself or someone on your team is doing it on a regular basis, you have to realize that different things, that different words we use mean completely different things to different people. And people may visualize, when they think of Easter, they may visualize the religious connotations of Jesus Christ rising from the dead, or they may visualize the Easter bunny and Easter egg hunts and all that, or they may not think of any of that stuff because they didn't have any background to that growing up or anything else. A whole lot of this comes down to how we grow up and what we experience and so forth when it comes to holidays that are well known but not celebrated equally across the board. Easter's one of those. Has very deep religious connotations, but is not seen the same way from everybody. For me and my family, I'd mentioned before, we travel all the way down from Southern Oregon all the way down to Northern California. It's about, with my kids, it's about 8-9 hour drive. And really it's about 6.5 hours long if you don't have kids, but with kids it can take a little bit longer. So in that process of doing that every year to come and visit my family, it's just part of what I've always done. If I came on here and talked about Easter the same way that a lot of people would talk about Christmas or those times of the year or those holidays, that's a different feeling for a lot of people. Whereas with my family, it's another big holiday where the whole family gets together, and different parts of my family all get together at different times, and so we have to kind of schedule things out and make sure that we hit up all these different places, and so that's a very different scenario for a lot of other people. It's not that you shouldn't bring out your perspective and talk about where you're coming from and what you're all about. The thing is, you just have to acknowledge that not everybody is necessarily from that perspective. They're not all necessarily have that same background or that same view of any particular holiday, especially when it comes to holidays. So it really comes back to the rule of entering the conversation that's in your customer's mind. And to be able to do that, you got to know, you got to have a really good guess, solid guess on where your customer's mind's at. And if there's a real mixture of it, you just have to acknowledge it. You have to point it out that you understand that other people may not see things the same way as you. It's helpful. I mean, you could always be a jerk about it, or you could always try and clear out a whole portion of your potential customer base that you don't want them to be around because they don't have the same perspective as you, and that's fine. But do it with the foreknowledge that that's what you're doing. Do it with intention. So hopefully that makes sense. We talk a lot about these ideas, so don't get too thrown off about some of these things that I just kind of throw out there willy-nilly. Go back, watch or listen to some of these other podcasts. I've got over 1,000 already in the can that you can go back and listen to. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this stuff. Don't just have a knee-jerk reaction if this is your first time here. You have a good one. Go get my copy of my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business, if you really want to get perspective on things that you can do in your business long-term strategies to make yourself competition proof. That's 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. Pick it up wherever books are sold or get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. For those of you that celebrate it, you have a wonderful and blessed Easter, and we will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.